Hey guys, welcome back to another one. This is Crypto Elite, home to the #1 Theta community. And if you like this content, please like and subscribe to the channel. And you can find me on Theta TV as well. Alright guys, in today's video, I am going to go over my monthly Theta and TFUEL stakings update. But before I do that, I normally go over some educational content. And in today's educational content, I'm going to talk about how YouTube and other streaming platforms could potentially use Theta to augment their streaming services and their video on demand services coming in the future. But if you're not interested in that, just blast on over to the second half of the video and we will go over the monthly update. So I will make this first half brief, and this is a Medium article that I found about how YouTube handles a bunch of daily videos without a hitch, and they do a great job of it. As we all know, you're watching this on YouTube right now probably, so you know it's not like they're doing bad in other streaming services as well, on Netflix, Amazon Prime, but they could always augment their services to make it cheaper. And that's what these mature companies are starting to look for, is ways to make their services cheaper so that their bottom line, their revenue and earnings can continue to increase. So let's just take a look on how YouTube utilizes their services. So we can see here YouTube streaming, it does some very familiar things, transcoding and streaming. And as we know, our edge nodes from the Theta network also does transcoding, which alters the video and audio format into one that is either more popular or can be manipulated easier. So that is a way that, you know, if you're watching it on your a piece of media on your cell phone, it might have to be transcoded if you want to watch it on a laptop or TV. So that is what transcoding does. Transrating focuses on reducing the bit rate of video and audio while maintaining the original media format. And the last thing they do, which we're all familiar with, is transizing, which involves the reduction in video frame from 4K to 2K or 1080p, etc., etc. And that is something that, you know, like I said, they do really well, and they describe this a little bit better in the later in this article. So they also do chunked video playback in the buffer bar. So if you are unfamiliar, YouTube breaks down videos into smaller pieces. So this is known as chunking, and it takes the video and splits it into usable ranges, like 2 megabytes per chunk, which is, it could be 5 or 10 seconds for these chunks, but it's just easier for your machine, your computer, if you want to scroll back and play from, you know, the very beginning, their browser can automatically retrieve that chunk of information than having to start from scratch. So that is something that YouTube does as well, and our edge nodes do something very similar to that. And YouTube also, by default, begin downloading small chunks of video on screen the moment you land on the home page, which is very interesting. So if you are scrolling through YouTube and you put your cursor over to a video, you can see it start to play, and that's why it's doing that. So it also has adaptive bitrate streaming, and this is something we are all very familiar with. So sometimes if you start a video, it might start at 240p, although it is annoying and you want to see that 1080p. Your computer is doing this for a multitude of different reasons, but this phenomenon is known as adaptive bitrate streaming, and it's used to offer an optimal user experience based on the quality of your network speeds. And they give this example over here that on the far right hand side, you know, the picture is very blurry, but humans are very good at interpolating and making this far right side, you can fill in the pieces and make that picture and image look like how it's supposed to look. So that is why YouTube chose to offer this service. They also, scrolling down to the bottom here, have a bunch of edge nodes, which is a fun fact because I know I run an edge node myself, and we'll go over the earnings here soon, but Google has something very similar as well. So if you want to watch a YouTube video that is trending in your area, there's a high chance that it's coming from a local ISP or network provider rather than Google itself. So Google's traffic management systems direct user requests to edge nodes that provide the best experience. And there's several of them across the world, as you can see. So very similar to Theta setup, where there's a bunch of edge nodes throughout the world. And then lastly, a fun fact here, video server selection strategies use a complex algorithm to determine which is the most efficient and effective way of getting a video to customer. And this may not always be the edge node location closest to you, which is very fun. And it's also very interesting to compare and contrast because Theta does something very, very similar in their white paper, which I've discussed before. But in order to augment once again and make things cheaper, if for some reason YouTube or Google could determine that a Theta edge node is closer and can do the same thing for a cheaper price, I could totally see them utilizing Theta services, but that is all just me guessing. So that is what I wanted to go over in the first part of this video, a little bit of educational content about YouTube, and Netflix does this as well, Amazon Prime does this as well. So this is why everything is so interrelated, and if those services want to, they could easily pick up and add Theta to their network. So that is the first half. The second half is the earnings. So let's check it out. Here is my transactions for the month of March, as you can see here. And the total amount invested, if this is your first time watching, I put about $5,000 into Theta when I averaged it, and I finally got my 1,000 Theta coins in order to start staking. And then TFUEL, I averaged around 3,500 before I got my 10,000 TFUEL in order to start staking that into an elite edge node. So the monthly earnings, it came out to about 96, just underneath 100 TFUEL earned for the month, as you can see here. And my total TFUEL, if you add up everything together, it is 689 TFUEL. So it's actually adding up to be quite a good amount. So I do look forward to continuing to run both my Guardian node and my Elite Edge node to continue earning this TFUEL. The overall price for Theta when the month of March ended was about $4. So I hope this uptrend continues, and it'll definitely pay off with the return on asset and return on investment, which you'll see here soon. And then the TFUEL price, once again, trending up from previous months as well. It ended at about 20 cents. The number of transactions, it was about 15 transactions. Last month I have 16 transactions. So I'm starting to find a close average of how many transactions I'm going to have. And then the monthly USD earned, if we check that out, is about $19.29. So just beneath $20 for the month of March, and all these transactions converted to the price of TFUEL. And then this I went over in a previous video. I won't go over it too much here, but I did the math using my electric company. A lot of people were asking, how much energy is my laptop using, and it was very negligible, about $1. So with that being said, my total USD earned from this month and the past months that I've done this, still not a full year yet, but it has been $136.93. So I do look forward to that number once again continuing to increase, but that's what I've earned so far. My return on asset, I do look forward to this increasing. I'm down about 20% on Theta. Once again, I got in around $5 and it's $4, so that makes sense. And then my TFUEL, it hurts to see, but guys, this is a long-term play for me. Hopefully in a year or two, I can, see those numbers reverse, and I can see a positive 42 or 420%, something awesome like that. But I am negative 42% right now. And my overall investment, which is $8,500 for both my Guardian node and Elite Edge node, is about 1.61%. Not exactly the highest, S&P 500. There's a lot of other investment vehicles out there that have a much higher return on investment. But like I said, long-term play, we will see how this plays out in the future. And my APY, if I were to take everything and average it out for the entire year, let's see, we are at about 2.67%. Once again, not the highest, but that is where we are right now. And I look forward to continuing this trend over the next couple of years to see how this plays out. So if you guys see anything that you would like me to add to the spreadsheet, definitely let me know in the comment section below. And if you have any questions, let me know as well. And I will see you on the next one.